is Tatiana Smith, and I am the owner of T Smith Counseling. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I will be talking about 3 ways to increase better communication as a couple. Okay, so there are 3 quick ways that you can go ahead and start doing as a couple with your spouse or your partner to increase better communication. The first one is going to be active listening. Listening in communication is always going to be number one. A lot of times when we communicate, though, we tend to listen just enough to prepare our response so that we can go ahead and respond to the person. With active listening, you don't listen to prepare your response. You listen to digest what the person is saying so that you can actively respond with the proper response to where they won't have to repeat or reiterate what they said because you did not catch it correctly the first time. This happens a lot, as I stated before, because we tend to listen just enough to say, okay, I know what I'm going to say back to them. So, number one, active listening. The second great communication tool that you can go ahead and put into effect is going to be understanding the personality of your spouse. Okay, so if your personality is that when you speak, you use your hands, you use your body, everything is emotion, you put it all out there when you're talking. You can be loud, um, animated. It doesn't mean that you're angry or anything. That's just how you speak. That's how you communicate. Where your spouse can be the exact opposite, where they sit there, they're relaxed, they're looking at you, they're paying attention to what you're doing, but they are digesting what you're saying and processing it. And it could look like they are not paying attention, but in turn, they really are. So you have to know the personality of your spouse and remember that when you're communicating with them, especially if you all are getting ready to get into one of those debates about something that could maybe escalate. This is a great way to keep it de-escalated and regulated. The third way to invoke communication, this is my favorite one, so I've saved the best for last. This is the one that I always love to use with my couples when I do couples counseling. It's going to be what I call a date night jar. Was given this idea by somebody, and I just love it. What we don't think about is once we met the person and we wanted to start to get to know them, we spend time with them, we date them. And just because you're married does not mean you stop dating. A lot of times, married couples forget to do that because they get into the role of being a husband, being a wife, being a provider, taking care of the house, being a mother, being a father, taking care of the children. And we forget that we must date and keep that relationship going. So here you see I have just a regular mason jar. You get it from the dollar store, Dollar Tree. Don't spend a lot of money on it. Or you can eat some peanut butter and then clean out the jar, whatever works. Inside, you will see popsicle sticks. These you can also get from the dollar store, or if it's a nice summer day like it is hot here in Texas, you get you a good popsicle, eat it up with the kids, rinse it off, then you're able to use it. Generally, I tell my couples to start off small with 3 popsicle sticks per person. So 3 for the spouse, as far as the husband or the wife, 3 popsicle sticks. On the popsicle sticks, you will write out dates. So it can say Netflix and relax at home. It could say something like a very nice restaurant or uh, painting as a couple, whatever type of fun things that you've been wanting to do as a couple. Also, say if there's something that you know that you've been trying to get your spouse to do and they won't do it, if it's reasonable, put it in here. Write it in here. You don't share this information with the spouse. You fill out your popsicle sticks, you put it right back in, and then you close it up. You all discuss a day that will be your date night. So, if you want to do every Thursday is going to be our date night, you pick that day, you pick that time. I always suggest my couples start off small with at least twice a month. You go into the jar, you pick out the date, and you can do that the day before so you can prepare for your actual date night. And that's what you all are going to do. This will spark great conversation and communication. The things you should not talk about on your date night: finances, work stress, children, in laws, anything that's a highly stressful situation that you talk about on a regular, you do not discuss this on your date night. This is highly effective. This is where we open up to people. This is where we figure out, can we trust the person? For some of you all, this is how you fall in love. This will help you get back to that place, but it's a great way to invoke communication. Okay, so three great ways to better communication: active listening, remembering the personality of your spouse as you're communicating and how they communicate, and then date nights is great for invoking communication. Thank you so much for joining me again. As I stated, I'm Tatiana Smith of T. Smith Counseling. You have a great rest of your day. Thank you.